Welcome to the EarthtonesGirl podcast. My name is Denise, and I'm coming to you today from my home in Yonkers, New York, where I live with my husband and our two children. You can find me on the internet as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I am also on Ravelry. The podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the EarthtonesGirl podcast group, and there's also an email address, which is earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 35. My voice is not the best. I did catch a really icky, very spontaneous cold last weekend. It was really weird. I went to bed on Friday and woke up with a cold, and there was a welcome back to school barbecue at my daughter's school, and which was really lovely. I'll talk about that in a minute. And I was talking to one of the other parents, and the music's going in the background, and I'm trying to project my voice, and as I'm talking to him, I can literally, like it was in a cartoon, I could feel, like it was the Little Mermaid, I could literally feel my voice leaving my body, and I sounded horrible. By the time we left the barbecue, I sounded terrible. You could barely hear me. So it is coming back, and I was holding off podcasting, but I wanted to get an episode in. I had wanted to get one in every week for September, so I am now, this is week 2, so I'm a little late, but I was determined. I hope that you can hear me. Okay, hopefully that's the last time I cough. Hopefully you can hear me. And here I am. Welcome back, you guys. Again, episode 35. Thank you all so much for the amazing response to episode 34, which was a special episode. And that was a guest. I had a guest host with me. Her name was Carolyn Bloom. I know you all are very familiar with her if you follow me on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. She's my very dear friend, and she just released a new pattern. It's called the FitMitts, and they're absolutely beautiful. It's a very simple brioche beginner pattern in really, really beautiful hand warmers. I will put a picture of that for you here. And we decided to get together and announce her new pattern. And she also did about 5 or 6 tutorials on brioche and everything that you would need to knit those beautiful hand warmers, those beautiful mitts. Again, the pattern is FitMitts by Carolyn Bloom of Bloom Handmade Studio. So that was last week's episode. So thank you all so much for watching. And we are now officially back to school. Episode 33 was right at the end of August, and we were getting ready to go back to school. I was celebrating the return to school, but yet lamenting that my babies were going to be leaving me because we had a really, really great summer. And the school year is off to a really good start, and it's funny. The school year started, and then we had a really big family event. My cousin's son, who's about 9 months old, was baptized not last Sunday, Sunday before, and there was family in town for that, and it was such a busy week. And I thought, okay, when Kira and CJ are back in school, I'm gonna have all this time. I can kick back, I can put my feet up, I can knit. And you know what? Oh my gosh. The first 2 weeks were so crazy busy, and I don't know if you guys are like me, but I can't create when my space, not this space, but when that space is messy, or the beds are unmade, or laundry needs to be folded. Just normal day-to-day accounting, anything, just normal day-to-day running of a household. When all of that stuff is not done, I can't create, I can't function. I need to make sure that everything is tidy before I can do this. So between catching up on all of that because of, getting back into school, and, we're trying to get used to waking up in the morning and get back on a routine, I was trying to catch up around here, and then we had family visiting, so there was a lot of shuttling back and forth of family, and it was wonderful, but holy cow, that image of me relaxing went right out the window. I'm thinking we're now in week 2. Now in week 2 of school. everybody's settling in. Kira is thriving. She's doing wonderful. Fifth grade definitely agrees with her. But I think the reality of fifth grade and how much work she has to do is also kicked in. But we're working together. We're doing well. And my poor boy, my poor CJ, he's having a hard time. If you've seen some of my Insta stories in the morning, and just to digress for a moment, Insta stories are a really great way, excuse me, you guys, Insta stories are a really great way to keep track of my day-to-day. I usually come on in the morning, just give a little recap, greet everybody for the day, and, you know, I'll talk about whatever's going on at the time. So if you need a little filler between podcasts, my Insta stories in the morning and throughout the day, that's a good place to find me. But so on an Insta story, I was talking about, and I think I was actually crying because CJ was just having such a hard time. And it's so awful when your child is going into this new environment that you know is going to be amazing for them, but to them it's so gigantic and ominous and scary, and you're not walking them in. Wait, whoa. You used to walk me into nursery school. What's going on? So they're now walking in on their own, and on the first day he was like, "Ron, this is great. Bye, mommy. I got a wave. It was awesome." And then all of a sudden, the way our school does it, they stagger the children going in. So they take a few at a time, and then another few, and then everybody in together for the full time. And I think that gap, he went out on a Friday, had a Monday off, and then was in on a Tuesday, and I think that gap messed him up a little bit. I think if he'd kept going, it would have been better, but yeah, it threw him off. And come Tuesday morning, he's like, you're coming with me, right? This isn't fun now. I'm not having fun. What's going on? And the meltdown and the crying and the pulling on my shirt, it wasn't pretty, but he's still crying. I'm not gonna lie, he's still crying, but at least he's walking in. The holding on is getting a little less. He's walking in, it's getting better. He's making friends. He's now playing at lunchtime. I've had lunch duty already, and he's playing with some of the kids after school because the lower grades get out about 10 or 15 minutes before the older grades. So, yeah. I can't tell you how much that threw me off, you guys. I think that's another reason I couldn't feel settled to even come on here, but I know it's unrealistic, but when things don't feel settled, it's not unrealistic. It is what it is. When I don't feel settled, I can't talk, I can't create, I can't make. I haven't even been knitting that much, so as a matter of fact, I wanted to show you something and don't have it with me. Darn, that's okay. We'll do it next time. Yeah, so feeling a little bit better now. I'm trying to still deal with the voice and the cold, so yeah, it's okay. So, yes, surprise episode, back to school, and on the 1 or 2 days that I did have some time to myself, I drop them off at 8, I'll run a couple of errands. By the time I get home, it's maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you know, I'll clean up from the morning rush, dishes, get rid of dishes in the sink and all of that, and then all of a sudden, it's about 12:30, I'm like, all right, so I sit and have lunch, I'll knit for a little bit, watch a podcast, you know, maybe knit a little, and then all of a sudden it's 2 o'clock and I have to leave. Wait, where did the day go? What just happened? So it's funny, you feel like you've got a lot of time from 8 to 2, but you really don't. They're long, short days. Excuse me. They're long, short days, and let me interrupt myself for a moment. I sound a lot worse than I feel. As you can see by my face, I'm fine. It's just this, well, I'm not fine, but I'm not sickly. It's just this cold is just, the residual of the cold and the cough. But anyway, okay. Yeah, the days are short, the long, but short at the same time. So I'm also trying to find a way to find a balance. There's a couple of things, fun things on the horizon, so it's going to be interesting to create a balance and make when I'm here now feel a little bit more like my workspace, to make all of this and this feel more like a workspace and treat it that way. It's not going to be a full-time job, but it will be a part-time job, and I need to acknowledge that and treat it that way. And, you know, I haven't worked in over 10 years, so worked in an official paid capacity, and that's going to change. So just even getting my family to understand that and respect that and realize that, okay, mommy now has work to do. You know, a lot of the knitting is not just for fun. A lot of it is there's a reason behind it. So yeah, good things, good things. Today's September 19th. I should have said that in the beginning. Yesterday was my birthday, which was wonderful. Thank you to everybody that left comments on Instagram, that sent me messages. It's to be bowled over by that much love is a blessing. It was wonderful, and I'm so grateful to everyone. But yeah, so today's the 19th, and tomorrow is September 20th, and there's a big announcement coming tomorrow. Stay tuned, you guys. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna try my best to keep talking and not talk about that yet. One more day. Yes, so let's talk knitting. No Fear Sock Cal, it is officially over. Officially, as I said in episode 33, the threads are going to stay open. There's still people in there talking. If people still have questions, they are more than welcome to post their questions there for me. Just checking the time as usual, guys. They're more than welcome to leave messages there for me. You can message me there with questions. You can leave messages for me on Instagram. You can email me, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. But there was no way I was closing those threads. Even the FO thread, keep posting your pictures, post the finished objects. I want to see what you guys are continuing to create. The No Fear sock knitting theme is going to continue. That's not going to stop for me anytime soon. I want to continue to promote that. I know there are a lot of people that may have missed the cowl and are still so afraid of knitting socks. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they said, why are people afraid of knitting socks? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I understand. I do know how to knit socks. I get it. So I don't have that fear, but there are so many other things to be afraid of, you guys, that sock knitting, take it as a challenge. You know, I try to promote sock knitting as a challenge. Don't look at it as something to be afraid of. Look at it as something to conquer, something to achieve, a goal to reach. And that's going forward how I want to promote sock knitting and continue to promote sock knitting. Yeah, I think there's no fear, guys. No fear with your knitting, no fear with your sock knitting. I'm also about to start experimenting with a couple of new creative outlets, creative adventures, let me say that instead. And I am a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also excited. I want to get back in and get my hands going and creating and making in a different way, so I can't wait to share that with you too. I'll take you on a little tour of my lab. You'll understand what I mean by that in just a bit. So I'll share that in another episode. But so the No Fear sock knitting theme is going to continue, as I said. Announcement tomorrow. But in the meantime, the final winners were announced. I did decide to post those on Ravelry. Everyone's gotten back to me. Prizes are being assembled and sent out. Those will be done probably in the mail by tomorrow, the latest. And it's all good. Thank you again to everybody that participated. Thank you to everyone that I know will be continuing to participate. There's a lot more fun to be had, you guys, a lot more. And I did mention, I'm going to talk about cowls again in a little bit, but I did mention my falling leaves sock cowl, and that was supposed to have started on the 15th. But again, because of school and a couple of other things going on, there's also been a lot of back to school activities, so I've been at the school a lot, but I'm going to talk about that when I get to cowls in just a little bit. So actually, why don't we just talk about it right now? Yes, so I have not done as much knitting as I would like, again because of everything going on, but and I do get a little distracted, but I do think that's going to change. I do have a whip to show you, and I have 3 FOs. three FOs to share with you, so that's really good. But let's talk cows first. There are the falling leaf sock cow. It is happening. I've decided to, because of being busy with back to school, and there are a couple of other cows going on, I think changing the timing of it was a good idea. So it is now going to be happening. The falling leaf sock cow second annual, which makes me very, very happy, is going to be starting October 1st. And so this gives people a little bit of time to prepare. And it's also going to tie into two other cows that I want to talk about. So you can double dip, you can triple dip, poly dip, whatever. If there's other cows going on out there relating to fall or just relating to socks, please, you can, like I said, dip into everything. So there's no restrictions or rules for my cowl, but it is the falling leaf sock cowl. October 1st, it is going to run until November 15th. So we'll have 6 weeks. That's not a tremendous amount of time, depending on how quickly or how slowly you knit socks, but that's not the point. The point is to just join in the fun. The theme of this cowl is the falling leaves, and it's to knit socks that resemble the season, and whatever that means to you. They can be scrappy socks, it can be self-striping sock yarn, scrappy socks, plain socks with different patterns. I know there's a pumpkin stitch pattern that somebody did in a sock. I can't think of the name, but I'll try to look it up and put it here for you. Any type of sock knitting, regular length socks, knee-high socks, shorty socks, it doesn't matter. Let's just flood Instagram, and I will open the threads in the Ravelry group. There'll be a chatter thread, of course, as well as an FO thread. Let's just flood it with beautiful fall colors, you guys. The oranges, the golds, the reds, the deep browns, the rich greens, even deep purples and wine colors. Just bring it on. Just bring it on. I really want to. There were so many beautiful pairs of socks last year with this theme. That cowl run a little bit longer. It ran for 3 months instead of, so we're sort of doing half the length this time. But the reason for that is because I know there are a lot of people participating in the other two cowls, one of which is the Monster Sock Cowl, and that is being hosted by Sue. I'll put her information here, and her Instagram name is SMCARN, Carn. And her co-host is Jessie, who is Ocha, Oocha. And I'll put that down here for you. They are hosting the Monster Sock Cowl, and it is basically a scrappy sock cowl. Gather your bits and pieces, all of your sock ends. I have so many ends of sock yarn that I have left over from my socks. What do you do with them? Do you trade them? Do you turn them into minis? You can do all of that, but you can also make scrappy socks, you guys. They're so much fun. And I did a tutorial way back in an episode. I don't even remember which episode, but I'm going to do another one and have it as a separate tutorial, so it'll stand on its own. So it'll be a lot easier for you all to find on how to change color and not get the jog. It's sort of a quick trick. It's not the fine-tuned way to do it, like a true jogless jog, but the way that I do change color, I'm knitting in the new color and the old color, the tails, as I go. So I don't have to stop, I don't have to go back at the end and weave anything in. All I do at the end, turn my sock inside out, snip all the ends, because everything is already woven in, and I'm done. I can put my socks on and wear them. It's brilliant, brilliant. I take no credit for that. I learned how to do that from Christina, who's the cozy knitter. Christina is amazing. I've done a lot of pairs of socks with her yarn, and she's also the creator of the 24 stripe Advent skein. That's who Christina is, the cozy knitter. So she did a tutorial on how to use this method, and it really, really rocked my world. It was just mind blown. It was such a simple thing to do, such a simple trick, but it works brilliantly, and it really does. The way that you pull the yarn, and you'll see in the tutorial, it's almost seamless. It really is. I mean, obviously if you're using something like black and white, you will see something a little bit more high contrast. You will definitely see like a slight tweak where the jog is, but or a slight blip, that's a better word, where the jog is, but this method really is amazing. So I will do a tutorial on that coming up very, very soon. So if you are inclined to do monster socks, as they're calling them, which I think is great, that cal is going to be running until October 6th, the monster sock cal. It ends on October 6th. Please go and check out their hashtag. They're trying to actually reach a goal for a certain number of socks within their hashtag. So if you are knitting socks right now and they are scrappy, it doesn't have to be fall related, just please go on over there and join the hashtag, join their Ravelry groups and all of that fun stuff. So I am actually working on a pair of scrappy socks, which I'll show you in a minute, falling leaves themed, but also scrappy. So there you go. I'm going to be dipping into their cal as well. And because theirs ends on the 6th, I thought it would be good for mine to sort of start just as theirs is ending. The other cal that's going on right now, and that started on, I made my notes, September 1st and will be running until October 31st, is the Pumpkin Mal. The Pumpkin M-A-L, which is Make Along, and that's being hosted by Joanna of Stitching the High Notes. Joanna is wonderful. She's a very, very dear friend of mine. This is, I think, her second or probably her third or fourth Pumpkin Mal that she's done, and it's pumpkin season. We are both September babies. This is our time of the year to blossom, to shine, to rejoice and enjoy. So she is hosting the Pumpkin Mal, and that is for anything. You can knit, sew, crochet, quilt. It's a make along, so it's not one specific discipline. Is that the right word? It sounds dramatic, but one specific type of creating. It's all kinds of creating, all kinds of making in her cal, in her mal. So again, her dates are September 1st to the 31st. So again, the way I positioned my cal, my sock cal, it sort of blends with both of those really well. Again, scrappy, striped, patterned, doesn't matter. Come and join the fun. I will have all of their information linked in the description box down below for you, so you can find out about that. Excuse me, I will also link or add some information to my, to the Falling Leaves sock cal, and I will open the chatter thread at least by the weekend, so at least people can start talking and, you know, showing off their yarn and what they want to work on. So you've got a little less than 2 weeks to get all your sock yarns picked out and ready to go. So yeah, flipping the page, we've been talking 22 minutes. I've just been yakety yakking and haven't shown you anything. So let's start. So I did have some more pairs of socks after episode 33, but that I didn't want the episode itself to be too long. It's just a lot easier for me if the episodes are shorter for editing and all of that, so I'd rather make them shorter and hopefully get more of them out there for you. But first up are these beauties. I love these. The colorway is called First Kiss, and it is by London House Yarns. And they do 50-gram sock sets. I had talked about that a lot. Just a call, if there are yarn dyers out there who are watching this, yes, we all love doing stripy socks, scrappy socks. I just promoted the Monster Sock Cal, but it's also really nice too to have maybe a little less yarn in your sock sets. So they do 50-gram sock sets. You get a 50-gram skein of your main color and then a 20-gram skein of your contrasting color. So again, this colorway is called First Kiss. It's my usual go-to, 64 stitches, 2.25, fish lips kiss heel, and a rounded toe. Love it. Look at those colors. So muted and beautiful, but yet I love this pop of pink in them. They were so much fun. There's the other one. So much fun to knit, and as usual, you guys know I was a little meticulous with my there's a little blip right in there. It's not a hole, it's actually a little blip where there was a little bit of blue that popped in. It's bothering me a little bit, but I'm going to live with it. I am so ridiculously obsessive compulsive with my sock knitting, but you know, that's okay. It's okay. So here they are. Beautiful, all done. They're on my sock blockers. These blockers I got from, and I'm mentioning these for a reason because I'm going to show you a stunning pair of sock blockers that just arrived in the mail. These are by Bryson, and I get them from Webs. I think Joann's might have them, the big box store, Joann's might have them, but you can order them from Webs also, and they're really, I think they're under $15, like $10 or $15 for the pair. So still, you know, could be within budget, not too expensive. But yeah, so here we go. Love these. And I have another pair. These are, now, I went on a little bit of a, I love Felici. If you guys are familiar with Knit Picks Felici yarn, I love them. Another 50 gram, they're 50 gram balls. You usually need 2 balls for a pair. But I saw someone knitting a pair of Shorties, and I find Shorties are making a bit of a, I don't know if it's a comeback or resurgence or whatever the word is, but Shorties are almost like a sock knitter's potato chips. They're instant gratification. You don't have that long leg. You cast on, you do a little bit of a cuff, a little bit of a leg, boom, you're at the heel, and then you sail down the foot if you're doing stockinette, your toe, you're done. Super fast, super way. That's another great way to eat up a lot of the ends, because I find a lot of people have approximately anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of yarn left after they've completed a full size pair. So you can take that chunk of leftover and knit a pair of shorty socks, and then if you see that you're kind of running out, just as a safety, just put in a contrasting heel. You don't even need the contrasting cuff or toe. Just throw in the contrasting heel, and that's your safety net in case you run out of your main color. So I made these, you guys. Here are my scrappy Shorties, and this is 1 skein of Felici. It's Felici by Knit Picks. This is 1 skein, and I just have my usual Malabrigo sock yarn in their natural color that I used for the heel. And these also, for the sharp-eyed among you, they don't match. I just said that I'm obsessive compulsive about my socks matching. I decided to step out of my comfort zone, just close my eyes and leap and cast on and wait and see how the colors played out. I love them, you guys. I love them so much. They are so much fun. You kind of can see where the colors are going to land, but not quite. So here they are. Let's turn these around. You can see them this way. Look at that. They're so much fun. So much fun. And Felici is a very inexpensive sock yarn, but really great. It's super soft. I don't know what their base is. I mean, it's 75-25, but I don't know what mill they get this done, but it is such really butter soft yarn. It's amazing. And yeah, here they are. And the balls, they lend themselves to scrappy socks because the balls start at different places. I mean, you can take the time, as I have done, to match up the stripes and get them going, but it's so fun to do them scrappy. So, and it's perfect. The weather now is perfect for these. You kind of want a little bit of extra warmth in your shoe, but you're not ready for a full sock. Scrappies, you guys. These are the way to go. It's also, as I've always said with sock knitting, I can feel my voice starting to go. As I've always said with sock knitting, it's the perfect little canvas to experiment. So if there is a stitch pattern you've wanted to try, a technique you've wanted to try, this is a shorty sock. It's not a lot of time invested, it's not a lot of yarn invested, but so much fun. So here you go. And this colorway, I almost forgot, is Rainbow by Felici. What Felici does, I think they're closing out. They sort of discontinue their yarn and then reintroduce it. So what they do is they'll dye up a whole bunch of new colors, they introduce those, and I guess as whether stock is dwindling down or not, they'll sell everything out, put it on hold for a little while, I guess while they're dyeing new colors, and then they put it out again. Because there was a time where people thought Felici was done, it wasn't coming back, and then it did, I think just by popular demand. And yeah, and then they came out with a bunch of new, so they've had a lot of new colors, and the dyeing in the yarn has gotten a lot better. It really has. I remember when Felici was kind of new and you'd get like big distinctive lines, which you'll see that in this is a newer batch. I have an older batch, another pair to show you in a minute, and you'll see what I mean. Excuse me. You'll see what I mean, where you can see the demarcation line between the colors. It doesn't bother me at all. I actually think it adds a little aesthetic charm to the sock, but there was definitely none of that in this pair, or minimal. That's just a little bit of tonal effect there. So yeah, so my other pair number, FO number 3 is, oh my God, are you ready? I don't know what I'm more excited about, the colorway or the sock blocker. Let's just do it. Look at these guys. I'm just gonna be quiet for a minute and let you take it in. I'm gonna lean back, look at those. Look at those blockers, look at those socks. Okay, let's talk about the socks and then we'll talk about the blockers. So these are another pair of Felici Shorties, as I'm calling them. This, again, super, super quick. They're beautiful. You do see more of a line of demarcation between the colors, but that might have actually, now that I'm looking at them here and really holding them out to see, I think that might have even been done on purpose, because it really does, this colorway is called Sunset, and I find it really does sort of reflect the many colors that you can see at the end of a summer like end of summer sunset. This was the last pair that I finished before the end. Well, the summer technically is finished next week, but before Labor Day. So as far as I'm concerned, summer is over, but this was the last pair that I knit while on vacation. We were out in Montauk when I finished or was working on these. Love them, guys. I love these so, so much. Let's turn them around so you can see the other side, the other colors. And I'm going to, I talked about writing up a pattern for these. There really isn't, I'm still going to officially write it, but it's basically a shorter version of my regular go-to pattern. So with this, it's just, I'm casting on 64 stitches. You knit the cuff, it's more of a recipe, I think. You knit the cuff as long or as deep as you want it to be. And again, that's really up to the knitter, up to you, the wearer and the knitter. Some people like their cuffs, and if they're wearing a shorty sock, they like it to hit in just above the ankle bone, below the ankle bone. They just might want a little roll, like the Rose City Rollers. That's another really great sock pattern, and I'll talk about that in another episode. But I'll link it down below since I've mentioned it here. And yeah, so I cast on 64 stitches. I knit as deep as I want the cuff to be. Sometimes that may just be accommodating the striping, because there's 3 stripes, 3 different colors in this one, and there's only 2 in this one. It's up to you how you want that to play. I knit the leg, or the leg, just the distance just below the ankle for, I don't know, maybe 15-20 rounds. Again, depends on how the length or height you want them to be. I did a fish lips kiss heel and then just knit down my usual. So everything from the heel down is just whatever your usual formula or sock knitting pattern is to accommodate your foot. Again, another wonderful canvas if you can play with this. It's also great too if you want to practice your toe up knitting. It's Shorties, you guys, Shorties. So Sunset, Felici by Knit Picks, and this is the Sunset colorway. Now let's talk about these blockers. Okay, gotta take the sock off. These blockers, I saw these on Instagram. Instagram is a wonderful place, but it's also kind of deadly and can take you down rabbit holes. I mean, it's good and bad for lots of reasons, but I'm just talking about knitting for the moment. I saw these blockers. I got these from Tribe Yarns, and I saw these advertised. They had a sock on just one, and then the other one was empty or without a sock. I can't say empty because the intricacy in these, look at these, you guys. This particular pattern is called Bloom. Tribe Yarns, they are located in, I want to say London. Someone can hold on one second, you guys. I'll be right back. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hubby decided to pop in and grab some lunch and get some stuff done. So I'm not used to him coming home during the day. So I'm like, wait a second, who's coming in the house? So anyway, everything's good. So back to these. This design is called Bloom. I believe she had 3 or 4 other designs. I don't know if they're still in stock. Definitely reach out to to Millie. She is the owner of the shop. Definitely reach out to Millie and see if there are more. And if you can see, it says here, normal is boring. And it truly is. It really is sometimes, at least in relation right now to sock blockers. So this is the size small. They fit my socks perfectly, absolutely perfect. I did order a size medium. Hold on, let me grab those and show you. I did order a size medium, and they are right here. Same design, but these were, and you guys, they smell amazing. I don't know what wood this is. I'm not sure what the wood is. It's also really soft. If wood can be soft, I don't know, that's not the right description. I don't know how else to describe it, but super, super smooth and very light, super light. I would say they're about maybe a little over a quarter. That dark center line and then the clear, the lighter wood line is a little deceptive with the depth. I would say it's a little more than a quarter of an inch in depth here. But these are a size medium, and these were actually too big for my for socks that I knit for myself or my daughter or anybody else that I would give socks to. So what do you think? Should I give these away? I think I'm going to give a pair of these away, but I'm going to tie this into the announcement for tomorrow, so stay tuned. So many fun things. Okay, so I am terrible at keeping secrets, you guys. Terrible. So anyway, yes, I got these tribe yarns. Millie is the owner of the shop. They are based in London. I think that's what I was saying when Chris came in. They are based in London. She got these to me super, super quick. The shipping was not astronomical at all. Definitely within my range. These are worth saving up for, you guys. They're so either a splurge or saving for. They're so beautiful. I mean, the detail, look at the detail at the center of the flower. I mean, it's just gorgeous. It's delicate and there's no sharp edges, so nothing is going to catch on your socks when you slide them on or off. Just gorgeous. I love these so much. So that is it for FOs. I do have, I'll show you my whip. I did have another whip, my sock school sock that I wanted to show you, but I did complete one, so I did have a half object, but I'll save that. Hopefully I'll have the other sock done or 90% done by the next episode, but here's my scrappy sock. Let's tuck in these ends, that doesn't look nice. This is so much fun. It is that wonderful, soothing, mindless knitting that stockinette is. It's and I have a little acorn, you guys. I have a little acorn progress keeper. Each of these stripes are 10, and these are oh gosh, I'm stuttering. These are scrappy socks. I am changing color every 10 rows, every 10 rounds. I change to a different color. So this color, this one, this one, this one, and this one are all part of a sock set. It's called the Fall Mini Pack, and that's by Hoard Yarns. She has other, I don't know if she still has this particular mini set in her shop, but she has incredible. She has another mini set that's gorgeous. I don't have it in front of me. Fall themed minis, beautiful. They're 20 grams. This particular set had 6 different colors in it, but I'm using 4. And then I'm using this color and this color. These two are by Legacy Fiber Arts. So the first 4 are Hoard Yarns. These last 2 are going to be are from Legacy Fiber Arts. This color is, oh dear, Mary Sanderson, and this was from Legacy Fiber Arts' first set of colorways that they ever released. So this is a few years old. It is Mary Sanderson, and this color is called Candy Corn. I believe they have some of this in their shop now, and if they don't, you can always, that's the beauty of Legacy Fiber Arts. If they don't have the colorway, they are always very, very willing to either dye it up or go through their inventory, so definitely reach out to them. They also have some beautiful, I think they have candy corn in their shop now with it's a sock set. It's part of a sock set, and it comes with the contrasting mini is called pumpkin pie. Gorgeous, rich, literally orange, deep orange pumpkin pie color. It's beautiful. So go and have a look there. So this is my little scrappy sock, and this brown, it's a little too dark. It looks too dark here, but it's a really rich, oh, it's my favorite brown. It's called, the name of this color is Cordovan, and that is by Malabrigo Sock also. So there's two colorways. It's the Cordovan, which is the brown, and the natural, which is the creamy, almost off-white color. Those are my two go-tos for heels, cuffs, toes, or for, you know, a cuff on a mitten. So those two are my go-to background colors, or backup colors, so to speak. But there it is. And I made this little acorn progress keeper. That it was really, really easy to make. It's just a slip ring in here and a lobster claw cat clasp. I got the lobster claw and the rings from Michael's, and I ordered the charms from Bohemian Findings. I get a lot of my charms from Bohemian Findings. I will put their information here as well as the description box down below. And then I just make them. I don't add any jewels or anything. I just like them really simple. I would like to try jewels at one point and jazz them up a little bit, but I really just like super simple. This just says fall to me. So I will be entering this in Joanna's, actually in the Monster Sock Cal. I think it's a little, it's not pumpkin-y enough to be a part of Joanna's knit along or make along, but definitely these are going to be going into the Monster Sock. And I love how they fade one into the other. Oh, I love this so much. I'm having so much fun. Oh, that's it, guys. That is what I have for you. There's a lot going on behind me. As you can see, the cover is off of Big B here, and I've got my ironing board going on. Let me scoot over a little so you can see. There's a lot of color happening back here. Lots of fall colors. I've got this beautiful sort of checkerboard pattern going on. So there's some fun sewing things that are going to be happening. So stay tuned for that. I will be sharing those with you too. It is making season, you guys. And just enjoy your making, enjoy your creating, enjoy the season, the cooling off. If you're on the Eastern Hemisphere, or the East Coast, not coast, but Eastern Hemisphere, Northern, what am I saying, Eastern? Sorry. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we are now entering fall, and it's such a crisp day outside today. Enjoy your tea and your knitting. Lots of fun things going on. I have so much more to share with you. I will be back very, very soon. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, if you guys have not started reading, if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of audiobooks. Huge fan of audiobooks. And right now I am listening to The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. It is a sort of a part two to The Handmaid's Tale. I know I just opened Pandora's box. For those of you that are into The Handmaid's Tale, I have talked about it here before, but I am obsessed. I am obsessed with this story. I am obsessed with the books, obsessed with the series. It is not easy reading. It is extremely difficult reading sometimes. It's very unnerving because it's very much related to current events. But it's so amazing. The writing, Margaret Atwood is, I forgot how incredible of a writer she is. I read The Handmaid's Tale in college. I've read it the book 2 more times since then. I've listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by Claire Danes. The Testaments just released, I think it's in September, just like a week or 2 ago, and I don't remember the date, but it just came out. Oh my gosh, it is a bit of a take off the series, so I'm not going to give anything away. That's as much as I'm going to say. Relates to the first book in the basic theme, but I think it ties a little bit more into the series. And there are multiple narrators. Anne Dowd, who plays Aunt Lydia, is one of the narrators. I really don't have any words for how good it is. So if you get a chance, Please listen, please read the book, please listen to the audiobook. Let's talk about it, you guys. I want to talk about this so much, and I can't say anything because I know a lot of people either haven't started yet or haven't or are still in the middle of it. I'm almost to the end. I think I've got maybe 2 hours left in the audiobook. Mom's, it's very hard not to say anything, but I will behave. I will be good. No spoilers. So let me know what you think if you are reading it. Can't wait to hear. And let me know what you're working on. Leave comments down below for me. It's so good to have spent some time here with you today, and I will be back with an announcement tomorrow. See you guys later. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. Returning viewers, I'm so happy that you're back or here with me again. To any new viewers watching, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please subscribe. Thank you all so much. I will see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.